Live with Leza show in beautiful Prescott, and we've got great guests today, and we're kind of competing against the Chamber State of the City, but good job to the Sherry Heine and the Prescott Chamber, and also Mayor Kathy Roosing, who is going to share the good news. And, we were just kind of talking beforehand, and I've got Tom Riley on. Tom, welcome.
Hello, Patrick. Thank you for having me on.
Good. And we got a special treat. We've got Teresa Gann
Yes.
from Parlor Donuts, and we're going to do some taste tests, but we're going to have fun today. But, we were talking beforehand, it's great that the state of the cities and stuff like that, but when do nobody comes out and says, hey, I'm going to do a state of the facts or a state of reality. And I don't think we've ever seen that, Tom. You and I have been around a long time here.
No, usually when the state of the city is always touting, all the things that you did, and half of which are pretty innocuous and really didn't need to be done anyway.
Sure.
But everybody hangs their little shingle out there and says, waves their flag and says, my, look at what we did, and and there's still the real issue. They aren't addressing real issues.
Sure. It's more of and I was thinking, trying to do my philosophy hat on this morning, was when a quarterback throws a bad pass in the championship game, there's a big chance the coach is going to be gone. But we don't look at that in reality, real world, with municipality, state. I work for the state, so it's just if we throw a touchdown or we throw an interception at the end, hey, it's okay, business as usual. And we look at the things going on with the city, with the number of consultants, the money that's going out already. How do we sustain that?
Oh, more taxes.
Right.
More taxes, less business.
Right.
So you'll be paying more taxes. And it's, again, I think that the city itself, the city council that's currently sitting there, the majority of them are not really facing the issues. They're facing the hot buttons.
Right.
It's what somebody comes up and says, hey, here's my hot button. My hot button is the introduction to the general plan.
Mm-hmm.
Where it says that everybody's welcome into everybody's hometown. Duh.
Right.
Things like that. So it just they address the issues that seem to be the things that are burning on the griddle right away, and they're not looking at the long-term things. I know they are going to start looking at hopefully 89, widening 89.
Yeah, that would
And
be
of
a
course,
big thing.
they won't do it. I mean, the STDs run the show, so they basically don't want anything to be done in that area because there is a feeling that if you don't build it, they won't come.
Right.
Well, guess what? That don't work.
No, and I drive that every day, and I've seen more accidents, stopped for more accidents, growing up at Antelope Hills and still living there. So, okay, well, we're going to do the state of KYCA, a positive show this morning. Tom's going to be talking Habitat for Humanity, a lot of great stuff. Teresa's brought donuts to, do we call them donuts?
Savory donuts.
Savory donuts, and we're going to do a taste test. But, this is going to be a great show because, Habitat, a small business owner in town who her employees need housing, and so Habitat and maybe that, is not the fit, but it's going to be a great to talk about how a small business comes, sustains, keeps going, and then what you guys are doing to try to help. And now the big hot topic is affordable housing. So.
Yeah, workforce housing has been a big topic. At Habitat, we've been trying to provide a decent house for people that normally can't afford it, that fall through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing pretty well here in Prescott. In Prescott, we're actually having our 100th family is going to be housed, and we're going to be celebrating that at the end of January 28th. And if you have the opportunity, get a hold of Habitat and drive out. It's going to be at 3 o'clock is when the ceremony starts. 2 o'clock is when everybody starts to meet at the Dick's Sporting Goods parking lot. And then shuttles will be there because there is not parking on site up in Diamond Valley where the houses are. Right now we have two right next to each other. One of them's ready. The other one's almost ready, but not quite ready yet. Mm-hmm. But it'll be our 100th family.
That's
awesome.
Amazing. And then, Teresa, how long have you and Dr. Tom, I can't call him doctor. I will.
Just call him Tom.
He's my Dr. Tom. Dr. Tom. But how long have you guys been in Prescott?
We've been here for 13 years.
Okay.
So for a while.
And so your husband, did you guys come to open a business or?
No, he actually came and started at the VA.
Okay.
And then quickly saw that there was a need for him elsewhere. I mean, obviously the VA needed him too, but just medical care here is, I think it's everywhere. I think Prescott people think it's only Prescott.
Mhm.
Medical everywhere is lacking
Sure.
for sure.
Sure. And
Yeah.
so he came. Now, where did you come from?
We came from California,
Okay.
Southern California.
Southern Cal. Cool.
Yep.
So when you started looking at Prescott, you knew the VA was here. I don't know if the VA still has assistance when they bring somebody in, but did the sticker price of housing?
Oh, yeah.
What was
That
your
was-
shock of when you moved here
It was quite a shock for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah.
from Southern California?
Yeah, it was. It was a shock. And the VA at the time, that their pay was terrible. So we struggled for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We had our third daughter. She had special needs, which that threw us in the deep end of the ocean.
Right.
So yeah, it was tough. There was a time where he was driving back to California just to pick up extra shifts, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was tough.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think, Tom, we look at that again. Now we have people that are coming here to, for good career opportunities, especially when they come from Southern California or another high cost rate, and they see the sticker shock that, Prescott has.
Well, they do. And in Habitat, we don't price our homes by market value. We usually come up with an appraised value of the home, and then we work out some kind of a thing. Basically, the cost of a house is calculated on a person's income,
Mm-hmm.
and 30% of your income is what you would pay on a mortgage. And so you work that formula a little backwards, and you come up with what the mortgage is going to be. It's a 30-year mortgage. You can pay it off early if you'd like. Most people, some do, some don't. But it's a 30-year mortgage, and it's based on what you're making, which makes a big difference in that it's not based on market value.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we did market value, just nobody could afford it. People just can't afford to live here. You can't come to Prescott on a starting salary anywhere and really afford to buy a house.
Right. That's the thing. And, I need to do a good morning to Drew and Matt. Welcome to my show.
Good morning.
Well,
how are you?
yeah, we are here on your show.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool for a change.
You noticed it's his show, though.
Well,
It's good.
It is, because usually when I'm with Blair, it's like, I'm Steve Blair. It's like it's like, okay, it's all about Steve.
Well,
I hope he's listening.
that's what I tell all the guest hosts, that it's your show. You do what you want.
Yeah,
There
we're
you
just
go.
along for
It's
the
yours.
ride.
Yeah, we're just here to facilitate,
Facilitators.
especially Drew.
There you
Yeah.
go.
But-
I know you
Thank you.
guys are eyeballing the donuts, so I'm going to let Teresa start cutting them up. So
Before we do
we
that,
got
I got
new
an
rules?
important thing.
We got a new rule?
No. Our regular fill-in guest host, Carol Chamberlain, it's her birthday today.
No way.
Aw.
Oh, it is, huh?
It's Carol's birthday, so I got to give a shout out to
Are
Carol.
we going to sing?
Yes.
If you want to sing, we can.
Oh, God, don't do it.
Okay, we're not doing it.
I should have brought her a birthday donut.
There you go.
Well, if she was here, but she'll be
Carol-
in next week. So.
Carol, stop by Parlor Donut between 9 and 9:15 for your free birthday donut.
There you go.
You got 6
Yes.
seconds.
Yeah, you got 3 minutes. Get on it.
There you go. Hey, Matt, you
Yes,
as
sir.
a realtor, and so this
Oh
brings it
no,
into a
I'm
whole
getting
thing.
thrown into this. I knew it.
Watch out for the bus, Matt. But what do you deal with people coming and looking. What's the first thing? Is it sticker shock from a realtor side?
Well, it kind of depends on the buyer. So I just helped out some buyers yesterday, just closed on their first home ever, and they're locals, and they've been here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just put it this way. They bought basically a fixer-upper and not in the city. They're in Dewey.
Right.
So that's the thing. If you want to be in the city, Prescott Valley, anything like that, it's just the sticker shock is going up, and people are moving farther and farther out.
Yeah.
Spring Valley is really starting to take off. Cordes Lakes is starting to take off. Chino, Paulden, all those outskirt places is where the what you would call affordable living. That's where everybody's going.
I'd say just drive until you can afford the real estate.
Kind of, yeah.
I think that's what they
kind of
do.
what's happening.
You drive out there. I was on the 40 the other night coming back in from a meeting, and the houses out in Seligman and there. I mean, or even Golden Valley outside of Kingman.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I know people
Yeah.
who live in Seligman who are driving in daily to work. It's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in Seligman personally, but
They got a new truck stop.
I'm just worried about all the water. That's the big thing about Ash Fork and Seligman and that whole area is they don't have a whole lot of water, if at all. So,
Yeah, that's a big thing. So, going back to Habitat, building it, the need. So you're hitting your 100th home. how many more homes could you build and fill?
Oh, sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit, right?
You know, as far as that's concerned, we would get the necessary volunteers in place to be able to facilitate that kind of stuff. Right now, we're looking to finish, hopefully. I mean, it's our executive director, Bruce Rosenberg, would like to finish 3 more houses yet this fiscal year, which ends in the end of June. So by July 1st, we'd like to have 3 more houses done. That's sort of a goal. We're starting to get a little bit more in terms of donations, and we're recovering from some issues that had happened in the past, and which are behind us now. And we've got all the safeguards in place, and things are going great right now. And we're starting to get back on our feet, essentially, and we're looking to put in 3 homes in Government Canyon. And this time we're going to be doing the first time in our history, we're going to be using manufactured homes. And so the manufactured homes, we'll get those and put them in place. And of course, there'll be some stick-built stuff around it, like carport, deck, that kind of thing. But for the most part, though, we're going to find out how's that working out for us. And it seems like a place that we could supply housing at a relatively inexpensive way of doing it, and do it in such a way that we could do it a little bit more quickly than volunteers, stick building houses. Now, you have to have the proper zoning for that, and this place does have that proper zoning, but you can't use manufactured homes just anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be zoned, the area has to be zoned for it. But we're hoping that this time around that we'll still have 3 more houses online this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Teresa, now you moved here. You guys finally settled in. The VA came along. Now, were you working also when you moved here?
Kind of part-time. I did hair for a while. I've done hair my whole life, pretty
That's
much.
probably why I never ran into her. I don't have any. that could be the problem.
Yeah, me and you both, and Drew, of course.
Yeah, we got Drew back there too.
Drew really doesn't need you.
Right.
But he'll take a donut.
He'll take a donut, yeah.
He needs me for donuts.
That's right. So when did you guys start looking at maybe starting a business?
For Parlor?
Uh-huh.
It was,
Or what?
maybe 2023 is when we went to a Parlor in
Okay.
South Carolina.
Okay.
And before that, when we moved to Prescott, the only donut shop was the Safeway. We didn't even have any donut shops.
That's true.
So there was a need early on, and I'm a baker too, so I love baking, and saw that we needed a good donut shop, like a different donut shop. We
Right.
have some good donut shops here, but
Sure.
this is just completely different.
Yeah,
I would
we
say it's its own league, own category.
Yeah, we
of
did a
donuts,
test
for sure.
last week on maple bars, and we
Yeah.
weren't going for the fancy. We were going through, hey, I'm getting a cup
Traditional.
of coffee, traditional, and the 4 of them were pretty good.
Good. We
Yeah.
should
I think they were all.
Yeah.
we should bring in a Parlor donut next time and just see where it lands.
Probably lands in my stomach.
We have maple bacon, maple pecan.
That's my favorite. The
French
maple
toast.
bacon is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
We don't have a maple bar, but
Yeah. What'd you say, Drew?
I said she likes winning, putting
Yeah,
her donuts
exactly.
against anybody else's.
Number 1.
That's
Dunkin'.
not even a fair comparison.
it is different. It is not a traditional donut, that's
No.
for sure. I would say it's a craft donut.
Right. So now, did your husband already have his practice started before you looked
Oh
at
yeah,
here?
yeah.
You left
We
the VA.
had,
Okay.
yes, I helped him start Priority 6 years ago almost. Loved helping him. Don't love medical.
Right.
I like to bake. I like to feed people. That brings me joy. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Was there, when he went into looking at business options and buildings, was that also another sticker shock that
Oh yeah.
maybe surprised the family?
Yes. It's just hard. It's hard to find places here. Yeah. It is a sticker shock.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took over a historical building, which we weren't prepared for what that was going to entail until we were deep into it.
Did you call Gary Denny before you started?
I don't know. I don't know who Gary Denny is.
That was the best Mexican food
Oh,
restaurant.
yes.
El Charro
Oh,
was
I know.
that
Yes.
was the go-to. I mean, everybody that.
Oh yeah,
I
Yeah,
should
El
have.
Chaparral
Probably
was close.
should have.
yeah.
We
El Chaparral.
Yeah.
we definitely redid that entire. I mean, we redid the plumbing, the electrical. We kind of had to. We didn't know this until we got into it, and so we basically redid everything.
Too bad you didn't know Tom before then, because Tom's. How many buildings have you
Oh,
worked on
heck,
in
I
this
don't know.
great city?
I'm,
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Worked on all kinds of different buildings and a lot of different capacities throughout northern Arizona.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay,
That
well,
was
we're
tough.
going to take a break, and we're going to take our first taste test with a parlor donut, and we'll be right back with the Leza Live Show on KYCA 1490 AM. Back with the Leza Live Show. Beautiful Thursday morning, but it's playing music. Am I supposed to sing along with it? Sing along with it. See, they don't
You're
do
supposed
that.
to jam.
They don't do this on Friday afternoon.
Well, we're special.
We look at Scotty, and he holds up signs and pieces and sends us a little text on the little screen.
Well, yeah, you got two of us. You got me. You got Drew over there. Like, oh, hold on. I gotta get Drew fed.
We got to get Drew fed.
He gets hangry if he doesn't eat. Like, this is
Thank
his
you.
lunchtime. So
Drew, did you see these?
Oh, I'm
Are you a frequent
Fully-
flyer over there?
yeah.
There you go. But these are the new ones, though. These
Oh.
just came out.
well. Then we'll try those out.
That's
There's
it.
nothing that I tasted there that I didn't like.
okay, let me
That's
go.
that's a good compliment.
Absolutely, they do a great job.
Yes, they do.
You know,
All right.
Teresa and Tommy, man.
Are you good? Because I'm gonna go run and throw these.
Do
at
I need
Drew.
to hit any of the switches?
No.
I can start playing. That looks like there's a
You
lot of
could.
cool things.
It's like a video
touch
game over
anything,
here.
Beth.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
awesome.
Don't touch it, you'll break it.
Right. So, back to Habitat there, Tom. So you're dealing with, are you kind of doing with workforce housing, elderly housing, new people coming here? How does Habitat determine, what the need and how they go about it?
Well, basically, there's a whole process that you go through for having a family selected, and that process includes background checks and includes determining what your salaries are, what you can afford. If you're making 120 grand a year, you're probably not going to qualify for a Habitat home.
Right.
But there are a lot of people that kind of fall between the cracks that are making too much money. excuse me, too much money for any kind of government assistance, and they're not making enough money though to keep up with the cost of housing. And we do a little bit of background, like I said, background checks on people, and we determine after a while, what families qualify and try to get them involved. So, do we look specifically for workforce housing? No, we look for need.
Mm-hmm.
And we have typically the people that we have, will run the gamut of ages. But you just need to qualify for a 30-year mortgage. Most have families with small kids, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just struggling to make ends meet.
Right. And we see a lot of that. I was showing you pictures of, it doesn't seem like anybody really wants to deal with the workforce.
Yeah.
We look at the OEO with the state of Arizona, the opportunity folks, and, we got numbers from 2024 that, we had this many unemployment claims and this, and I showed you pictures of just in the Prescott Valley office, it's full out there. And they're good families that, maybe need access, maybe need some things. They need the medical for the kids. They need the additional income for groceries because it is tough out there. But, we never address, housing is nothing without workforce. And, Teresa, when I go in the shop, I think you would love to hire, the working folks, but you end up giving the youth an opportunity,
Yeah.
the younger people that may be still living at the house, because you couldn't pay the wages for somebody to buy a house here
Oh, no.
and sell donuts over the counter.
No, it's crazy. I mean, I do have a lot of young staff. They're absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they don't, I mean, unless they're married and, there's two incomes, and housing is tough. Yeah.
Right. But Tom, you've been here a long time. We didn't really need to be a 2-income family until, 20 years ago, maybe?
Well, probably a little bit longer than that, but 2-income families are something that are fairly common nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
and you almost need to be now, just because of affordability reasons. The disparity between wages and costs is such that you really need to kind of combine incomes and do that. And there's a variety of different things. We don't necessarily look at some of our families at Habitat. You might have stay-at-home mom taking care of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Some might have stay-at-home dad take
Right.
care of the kids. Some might be single parents, taking care of the kids. And there's a lot of differences in terms of who we have. It's not I couldn't single it out and say, this is the profile of the kind of people that we're looking for,
Sure.
because it just doesn't happen. I mean, we are non-discriminatory, of course, so we don't discriminate for any reason, and it's usually the people that we select have been very, very good families. Out of 35 families now, I think you can probably count on less than one hand the number of foreclosures that we've had to have over the years. And so we've been blessed in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still continuing to, have that money come in, and we can build more houses. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's what it's all about. So, Teresa, tell us a little bit about the
Savory donuts.
Savory donuts that you brought in today.
So all of our bases are this. They start with the same base. They're our famous layered dough. They're light and crispy on the outside, or they're crispy on the outside. They're light and flaky on the inside. And then when we fry them, they puff up and they're amazing. So what we did is, instead of our sweet donuts with the sweet glaze, we took and made savory donuts. So this is perfect for like lunchtime. We serve them after 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
They're all topped differently, kind of just like our donuts. So we have a margarita pizza, which is like a traditional margarita.
Uh-oh. Jason's going to get you guys margarita.
I don't think it's that kind of margarita.
Margaritas on the job. Drew, you're in trouble.
And then we have like our OG pepperoni. We have a pig and fig, which is very popular. That's going to be a little more sweet. It has a fig jam, mozzarella cheese, and then they're all rolled in a Parmesan herb crust. So you'll have like the Parmesan crust that is so good. We have a chicken bacon ranch. We have a buffalo chicken, and then a Hawaiian barbecue. So
All they need is a
It's-
drive-through.
So much.
taste away, yeah.
It's delicious.
It is everything.
I've
They
already
are
eaten
so
two,
good.
so yeah.
Keep eating.
And these aren't hot anymore. They were hot this morning, but they you can see the flaky layers of dough. They're amazing.
Are you going to quit eating because they're cold?
No, I was going to say
Okay.
if Pat was on time, maybe they would have been hot still.
They were hot when I got here.
Yeah, Pat.
Guilty as charged.
But eat away, dig
So
in.
what is now? Where did Parlor? Where is it in South Carolina company?
No, it's actually in Indiana. So it's in Evansville, Indiana is where it originated.
That's where they build motorhomes and stuff, ain't it? Indiana.
Oh no, that's Drew.
They got a big foot. Don't they have a good football team?
They
Drew?
do, yeah.
Drew,
Their
tell us
college
about their
team.
football team.
A couple nights ago, but it's college, so I don't follow.
Right.
But you're basically, it's all Elkhart, Indiana. They build a lot of motorhomes, traditionally built by the Amish and the Mennonites, believe it or not.
Oh.
I've been in the RV business for a while, and you go back there, and there's unbelievable manufacturing sites down there.
That's what I heard, and now they're known for their donuts.
Yeah.
The donuts, I think, are better than the RVs.
Yeah. So tell us your thoughts on the donuts so far, Drew.
Well, I've tasted 2 of them so far. I'd like to tell you there's anything left of the first 2, but they're gone. The Hawaiian
Barbecue was off the chart, and I really like the chicken bacon ranch. Was it, Teresa?
Yes, I think so. I give you one of each, I think.
Yeah. Oh, if you haven't had tried those 2 so far, no complaints.
Roger that, Matt.
Oh yeah, I like the chicken bacon ranch. So far the best, but I have no complaints with any of them. They're all
They're all
extremely
so good.
delicious.
And then we have a lunch combo, which is perfect because you get a savory donut and then 3 minis. So you can get either our sweet minis, which are very popular. We sell it at those a couple times a day usually, or you can get a savory mini, which is rolled in the Parmesan herb, and then get a dip to go with it. So our dips are also very good.
There you go, Tom. Thoughts?
Well, I think these are terrible. I should bring them out so that you guys don't have to go eat the rest of them.
Yeah. So,
I got a question. How
Yeah.
many times do you have a line wrapped around the building?
So we celebrated our 1 year anniversary last Saturday, and we had a line out the door, which we haven't seen that since probably maybe last March. We would still every weekend we had a line.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember driving by many times and seeing a line out
It
the
was
door.
for a few months at least. We had a line on the weekends.
it's a great location. El Charro was the same way. People would wait hours to eat there. So
Yeah.
we're going to take a break? All right, we're going to take another break and eat some more savory donuts on the Live with Leza show on KYCA, 1490 AM. We'll be right back. And we're back with the Live with Leza show with a mouthful of donut.
I was
This
gonna
is
say
good.
right when we come back, you just shove a donut in your mouth. Perfect.
Is it
Perfect.
time for me to do my song?
Yeah.
No, we're not doing
Oh,
any.
come on.
So, Teresa, you also, we need autographed pictures. Her and her husband were in Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
How'd
Yeah,
you
they
guys
were
do?
big time.
We
Oh, I
won.
remember.
What?
We did. We
We
won.
have a champion in the house, Drew.
I knew that.
How did you know?
Well, Tommy Gann, her hubby, and my sweetheart's son went to school together, and Jamie's known Tommy since, no, literally 8, 9 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's crazy.
we followed them, and we came up here, and then they came up, and we've just it's been wonderful. And then they did the donut thing. So yeah, I've known that. And of course, Tommy's my physician, doctor, whatever you want to call him.
Mine too.
Yeah. And
And
then
he's
they
good.
did the Dancing with the Stars and won.
Mhm.
We supported you.
We did. We won.
Yeah.
So how was that experience?
I will say during the experience, it's tough. I mean, as you guys know, fundraising is not easy. That was definitely the hardest part. But the week of the show, we had so much fun, and we just kind of, it was kind of like whatever happens, happens. But I think we brought in $20,000 like that last week, which was crazy. So it was a lot of work. It's hard asking people for donations. It's easy for me, for the kids. It's all the money all goes for the kids. So for me, it was easier asking for money for the Boys and Girls Club, but it's tough.
It is interesting. It's tough out there. And Tom, you were talking about some fundraisers for Habitat.
Yeah, well, we have a casino night coming up in March, and you should probably the tickets are almost entirely sold out. So I would say get on the Habitat website and get yourself in there if you want to become a part of that. That's going to be a fun night. Hopefully, we'll raise some money there, and other fundraising stuff we've been doing, grants and stuff like that. And we're doing. We need to do better, but we're getting there.
Well, but you're just like you said, you're going through some organizational changes.
Yeah, we've had some stuff where we've had some alleged. It looks like there might have been some embezzlement going on,
Right.
and so we stopped that, and we put a hold. I wasn't on the board when that was happening, but I've been back on the board now, and we have put into place all kind of on the finance committee, the construction committee, board of directors, and so I'm really involved with it, and just about every aspect of it. We now have all kinds of safeguards in place for being able to make sure that this can't happen again. And it's also, just it's not so much you got to pay attention. You have to be a business person when you're in a situation like this. It's like joining a church group, and everybody trusts everybody else, and so nobody questions anybody else. And so in this particular case, they need people on there that are going to question and get answers. And I've been known to ask pointed questions from time to time.
Right. And I know you want to get the word out about Habitat, and you and I have discussed about maybe some open houses to learn about Habitat, and we'll start working together with that. Probably here in Prescott, do one in Prescott Valley, and again, it's awareness, and I think that's the piece that people. I mean, Teresa, as a business owner, how many times a day do you get something? Hey, can you donate? Can you donate? Can you donate? Can you donate? Can you donate?
It's honestly shocking. It's probably every day.
Right.
And we try and donate as much as possible, but it's hard. You're also trying to run a business and pay staff and pay rent and
Right.
utilities, and
Well, I'll
it's
tell
tough.
you, I'm going to have somebody by the name of Melissa give you a call, because she is our volunteer coordinator, and we have a variety of restaurants around town that will donate every now and then a lunch for our volunteers that are out there building on the houses.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have her give you a call and see if she can't hit you up for some of your savory donuts. There won't be a
Perfect.
bunch.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, there's
I'd love
usually
to.
half a dozen people working on the site.
Perfect.
But I'm going to have her reach out to you, and I know that these are great donuts. This is not a donut. I mean, yes, it's a donut, but boy, oh boy,
It's
these
lunch,
things are meals.
right? It's so good.
These are meals. These are great. Boy, I wish I've not been to your shop
Well,
yet.
you have to come and have one hot now.
You just need
Yeah.
to go look at the
Yeah.
inside. You've done a lot of buildings in
Yeah.
this town. You've worked on a lot. What
It's
they've
pretty
done to that
amazing.
building is
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
going to do that. I'm going to bring my wife with me. Sandy and I'll go down there with that fig donut that you have in there.
Oh, yeah.
She loves fig, so
Okay, so we also have a breakfast sandwich that is amazing, and it has a fig jam on it. You would
Okay.
love it. It's a sausage biscuit.
she does figs.
Very popular.
She'll love that. So yeah, we'll have to stop by.
Perfect.
Definitely.
We'd love to have you.
And that's the great thing about Prescott is the collaboration. We talk about it, but I want to go back. I want to drill down a little deeper. Another reason why I'm so passionate, being in the workforce business, being a business service rep, formerly with the state, doing the whole state for veterans, and now Yavapai County. I'm with businesses every day for, across the county. If we get people back to work, our domestic violence is going to go down. Our thefts, our shoplifting, the things are going to go down because people are working. And I know you're trying to hire, Tom, when you were in business, you did what you could to hire assistants and stuff like that. And if we get people back to work, the police are going to have an easier time. But when people are desperate, people do desperate things.
Yeah.
That's true, and unfortunately, I think you're right. And it's not just getting people back to work. It's yes, we need more jobs. Yes, we need good jobs, good paying jobs, and everything. But we also need to get we need to be there and fill in the crack, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who out there who, if you earned $50,000 a year 20 years ago, okay, that was all right. But if you earn $60,000, $75,000, even $80,000 now, you're not going to cut it.
No.
It's just not going to happen. And so we need, not only do we need good paying jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but we also need to get the support in place. If you really do want to do things, getting support in place for the right kinds of things, for helping people up. Well, in Habitat, we say giving a hand up, not a handout.
Right.
And everybody in Habitat, if you're going to own a house there, you have to put in, a couple has to put in a total of 500 hours of sweat equity, a single person 250 hours of sweat equity, in order to be able to qualify to get into a home. And that's, when people do that, they learn how to take care of a home, and it's important to get that done. And people who are working is still doing that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back with the KYCA Morning Show, the Live with Leza. Be right back. Back with the Live with Leza show on beautiful Thursday morning in Prescott, Arizona. And we're having a great discussion with Tom Riley, who is with Habitat, and Teresa Gann, who is the owner and founder of Parlor Donuts here in Prescott. You know, we were talking in segments about workforce. Now, Tom, as a Habitat, as a nonprofit, Teresa, as a business, is there a lot of buy-in when you're doing stuff for Habitat? Are we getting a lot of buy-in from the county and the city saying, "Hey, Tom, you guys are doing a good job," on that? Or Teresa, when you were starting a business, was there a lot of, "Hey, welcome to Prescott. We're glad you're here. How can we help?"
No.
Ooh,
I didn't get anything.
Okay.
No. I mean, we would go to the city and, check in on our permits and stuff, but we didn't ever have them come and be helpful at all.
Mm-hmm. And how, I'm not going to dig that, but how many employees do you have?
Right now we have 15.
Okay.
But in the beginning we had 20.
Right. So that's a big number of
Yeah, it's
people
huge.
working in the community.
Yeah.
And Tom?
Well, Habitat is a little bit different than a business. Have we had buy-in from the city? To some extent, yes. We've just had a recent thing where the folks that were in the water department, we have to run new lines to the 3 houses up in Government Canyon. And back in the day, they did it differently. And so the first thing was that, well, you have to do a main line extension, which is a 6-inch main for 3 homes, and it made no sense. Mm-hmm. So we pleaded down to them, said, "Look, come up here, take a look at this," and they worked with us. They worked with us, said, "Yeah, you're right, it doesn't make any sense, so let's go do it this way instead of that way." That being said, there are, particularly in the private sector, the amount of regulations that are in place now is overwhelming, stunning, even for somebody like me as a professional who knows how to navigate that sort of stuff. They're just overwhelming. There's so much requirements now, not just for businesses, but also for housing too. Mm-hmm. The cost of building a house right now, I would say with the regulations here, if I had to say unnecessary, what I believe to be unnecessary regulations, over-regulation, probably adds to the cost of a $400,000 home. I'd say it probably adds about 10%.
Yeah, I would agree.
Wow.
And we're renting our space.
Sure.
We don't own it.
And you sunk a lot of money into it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had to get engineers for everything we did, which was unnecessary.
Right.
So, we had 2 bathrooms that didn't even change the plumbing, but we had to have a plumbing engineer come in. Stuff like that there was no point.
And one of the things, the city, the people who run the departments, the administration and stuff like that, the grounds, the people that you meet on the ground, feet on the ground, they're very smart, and they're usually very, very good, and they're willing to work with you. There are regulations that are in place that they didn't necessarily put them there, but they have to follow them.
Right.
And there's regulations that are handed to us from a state level, from even federal guidelines and things like that. But they have to follow them, and they try to do the right thing, but they have to work within the guidelines as well.
Sure. Well, and I think, with you being in a historic building, the birdcage burning down, everybody's concerned. We've had fires on Whiskey Row. We've had fires downtown. It's probably, if you said it was a tinderbox, it probably is a tinderbox. Some of those old buildings,
Mm-hmm.
you've seen the electricity in them, Tom, and I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't great.
Right.
But to have us have to come in and do all the work to the building that's been there for forever and has had many tenants over the last, I would say over the last 10 years, it's turned over 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to come in and fix it all.
Right.
That wasn't fair.
And the landlord just was happy he gets his rent check every month.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Well, it's in Habitat, we're looking to, again, we have a variety. We follow all the rules, and because we are a nonprofit organization that is really trying to address some of the issues that the city's been talking about now for a while, that there's a tendency to, I wasn't going to say they don't give us anything, but if there's a decision to be made and a choice to be made, they'll usually side with us.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
Sure. Well, and again, it's sad to see so many empty buildings in downtown Prescott, and I don't think I've ever seen this many empty. But, Teresa, it's back to it takes a lot of money to move in, whether you're a retail, whether you're a restaurant, anything. It takes a lot of money, and I just, Tom, and I know you've seen it. People mortgage their house. They do everything to try to start a business, and 6 months later, they've lost everything.
Yeah. We weren't prepared. I mean, had we known a little bit more of what we were going to have to redo, we probably would have taken a step back.
Right.
I mean, now that we've done it and we're through it, everything, it's great. The building's
Sure.
amazing, but we had no idea
Right.
going into it.
And Tom, you've seen that your whole career here in Prescott.
Yeah, when I first came to Prescott back in the 70s, that there was a lot of vacant buildings downtown, and I guess some of the things that there's an attitude, sort of an anti-business attitude that seems to be prevalent in the city right now, and
I
at
feel
the,
that.
not at the
Actually.
administrative level, but not the boots in the ground folks, but more of the governing levels.
Sure.
I see that happening where even on the Planning and Zoning Commission, sometimes I think that commissioners just aren't pro-business,
Right.
and same thing in city council and what have you. And instead of welcoming your business into
Right.
town, it's not happening. Every now and then they'll have a ribbon cutting for somebody, and the mayor will go out there and cut a ribbon and smile and walk away, and basically that's about all you get. It's just a little bit of a promotion there.
Yeah.
The attitude towards businesses needs to be embraced more.
Sure.
And the business basically fuels the engine that runs the city.
Sure.
And it's not your residential taxes, it's business taxes, it's sales taxes.
Right.
Those kinds of things.
Well,
And
that's what it's all about. Hey, we're going to take our final break. We'll be right back with the Live with Leza show on KYCA. Be right back. We're back with the Live with Leza Thursday show, and we got about 8 minutes. And Tom and Teresa, I'm just going to let you guys talk about what's going on, promote events coming up, and it's yours. Tom?
Okay, well, we have a casino night coming up in March. That's the one thing. Also, I think that one of the things that we're looking to do is we're looking to get some more people on our board of directors that can really help us out. Community leaders who are versed in accounting, finance, local land development, things like that. We're looking to get more and more people on the board that can really substantively contribute to the well-being of the Prescott area habitat. We've got a number of projects that we're trying to get going, and by golly, we need help. If you're out there and if you have the opportunity to be an ongoing giver, donator, we'd love to have you aboard. If we get 1,000 people to do $100 a year, that'd be great.
Just a quick question, Tom. You get a lot of contractors. You get a lot of people donating their time.
We get a lot of donations, yes.
So if let's say I'm a journeyman or something like that, a plumber, in the civilian world, I would probably be charging $1.30 an hour, or maybe that's cheap these days.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
So when they're donating their time,
Oh, yeah.
it's 135. If you had to pay,
We've
it would
had-
be the going rate.
We've had a tremendous number of donations that have helped us out with the 2 houses that we're finishing up on Sapphire Drive. And we have more coming in our way. We have the Restore get some incredible donations, particularly from places like Lowe's, Arizona Builders, the old Foxworth Galbraith, and Home Depot. They give us a lot of product that's good product and everything, and Restore has that for sale. So if it costs you $100 for 5 gallons of paint, at Lowe's, and when we get the paint over here, you may be able to get it for $75.
Right.
So we get the $75, you get the cheaper price. Go to the Restore, go check it out, and buy something.
You got it. Tom, thank you. Teresa.
Hello.
Hi.
So I am here. I mean, you all know about our famous layered donuts. They're
Savory donuts.
very popular, but I am here to promote our savory donuts. We have 6 different flavors. I think everyone tried them. They're delicious. We have our minis. We have a combo box, which is perfect for lunchtime. I know that with we're in football season. So, when you're at home on a Sunday and you want to have a yummy treat, or with the Super Bowl coming up, we have boxes where if you get 6, you get a price break. And if you get a dozen, you get a price break. So
You might have to put TVs in there and call it not a sports bar, a sports savory donut.
We did have a VIP night last Friday, and we did that. We watched was it the Rams? Yeah, we watched the Rams play, which is our team, and that was a lot of fun in our event space. So maybe we'll set up a TV.
This is Tom, and I know you and I have just been kind of making eye contact. A lot of people bash people from California. Californians, but it's people like Dr. Tom and Teresa that come here and say, you know what, we want a quality of life. We want to give back. We want to be in business so we can give back to the community.
Yeah.
Anybody who bashes anybody because of where they came from is just stupid.
Right.
I mean, there's just no reason for it. And you look at people, and the people that you want to deal with, you deal with. If
Sure.
the people you don't want to deal with them, don't deal with them.
Right.
Yeah, we've brought a lot of business here. So medical. We also have a Prescott Valley location opening
Right.
in
You
the
guys
next
just
month.
opened. That's awesome.
In about a month, we'll be open. It'll be 7 days a week primary care,
Mm-hmm.
which is a huge need. A lot of times our urgent cares are closed randomly on the weekends, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
And the 2 providers both worked in a level 1 trauma center. One is my husband, and urgent cares. So lacerations, wound care, all of that. We can breaks, take care of everybody.
There you go.
So.
Okay, the big $1 million question, Teresa. What is your favorite savory donut?
Ooh. I think my favorite is going to be the Hawaiian barbecue.
Hawaiian barbecue. And what about your husband's?
His favorite is the pig and fig.
The pig and fig.
And the El Charo that's coming.
I know. We're going to call Gary as soon as we leave
Yeah.
here and see if we can get him on the phone and introduce you. Drew, any closing comments?
Good show. Wonderful donuts. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I like the Hawaiian barbecue. Just an FYI, that was my number 1.
There you go, Matt. Closing?
I like all of them. They're very delicious. And thanks for tuning in.
And that's it. Game over. Hey, Leza, safe travels out there to you and Scott. Congratulations on your grandbaby, and everybody have a beautiful Prescott day. See you next time.